My beloved child, before you ever saw a single sign that your life was changing, before you noticed even the smallest crack appearing in the walls that seemed to hold you back, I was already at work behind the scenes. Long before the answer arrived, long before the breakthrough appeared, long before the door began to open, I heard every prayer you whispered in the darkness. I heard the words you spoke through tears when nobody else was around. I saw the moments when you sat alone wondering if anyone understood the weight you were carrying. I watched you fight battles that nobody knew existed. I watched you continue moving forward when every part of you wanted to give up. And my child, I want you to understand something today that can change the way you see your entire life. Not one moment of your pain has been wasted. Not one tear has fallen without my notice. Not one prayer has disappeared into silence. There were nights when you thought heaven was quiet, but heaven was not silent. There were seasons when you thought I had forgotten you, but I had not forgotten you for a single second. The same hands that formed the stars formed you. The same voice that called light into existence called your life into existence. How could I forget the one I created with purpose and love? The truth is that while you were waiting, I was working. While you were wondering, I was preparing. While you were struggling to understand, I was arranging circumstances beyond your sight. You often measure progress by what your eyes can see, but I measure progress by what is being built inside your soul. You look for immediate results, but I look for eternal transformation. Many times the greatest work I do is invisible at first. Consider a seed buried beneath the ground. To human eyes, nothing appears to be happening. The surface remains unchanged. Days pass, weeks pass. Yet beneath the soil, life is forming. Roots are growing, strength is developing, preparation is taking place. In the same way, there have been seasons in your life when you believed nothing was changing. But beneath the surface, I was building something strong enough to support the future I have planned for you. My child, do not judge your future by your current circumstances. Do not allow temporary difficulties to define your permanent destiny. What you see today is only a chapter, not the entire story. You have looked at closed doors and assumed rejection, but sometimes a closed door is actually protection. You have looked at delays and assumed abandonment, but sometimes delay is preparation. You have looked at obstacles and assumed defeat, but sometimes obstacles are the very tools I use to build your strength. Remember Joseph. He could not understand why he was betrayed by his brothers. He could not understand why he was sold into slavery. He could not understand why he was forgotten in prison. Yet every painful chapter was leading him toward a purpose greater than he could imagine. Had he skipped the process, he would not have been prepared for the position I had reserved for him. In the same way, your process has purpose. Your waiting has purpose. Your struggles have purpose. Even now, there are lessons being written into your heart that will one day become the foundation of your testimony. There are people you will encourage because of the battles you survived. There are lives you will touch because of the pain you overcame. There are blessings coming that require the wisdom, patience, and strength you are developing right now. My child, I know there have been moments when you felt weak. I know there have been days when fear tried to convince you that nothing would ever change. I know there have been nights when disappointment sat heavily upon your heart. But I need you to remember who walks beside you. The same God who parted seas still makes a way where there appears to be no way. The same God who fed thousands with a few loaves and fish still multiplies what seems insufficient. The same God who called Lazarus out of the tomb still brings life into places that appear hopeless. Your situation does not intimidate me. Your limitations do not limit me. Your obstacles are not greater than my power. What seems impossible to human understanding remains completely possible in my hands. Therefore, stop measuring your future according to your fears. Stop allowing yesterday's disappointments to predict tomorrow's outcomes. The future I have prepared for you is not determined by your past mistakes. It is determined by my purpose. There are dreams inside you that you have nearly abandoned. There are hopes you stopped talking about because disappointment hurt too much. There are prayers you stopped expecting to be answered because waiting became difficult. Yet I tell you today that I have not forgotten any of them. Some dreams needed refinement. Some desires needed maturity. Some prayers required preparation, but none of them escaped my attention. My child, I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to trust me. Faith has never been about seeing the entire path before taking a step. Faith is taking the next step because you trust the one who is leading you. Abraham did not know where he was going when he left his homeland. Noah did not know when the rain would come when he built the ark. Peter did not know how long he would stand upon the water when he stepped out of the boat. Yet each one experienced miracles because they chose trust over certainty. Today, I'm inviting you to do the same. Stop waiting until every question is answered before you move forward. Stop waiting until every fear disappears before you believe. Stop waiting until every obstacle is removed before you trust. The breakthrough you seek often begins with a simple act of faith. My beloved child, your life is not an accident. Your existence is not random. You are not here merely to survive from one day to the next. You carry purpose. You carry calling. You carry potential greater than you realize. The world may have underestimated you. People may have overlooked you. Circumstances may have discouraged you, but none of those things change what I know about you. I know the strength I placed within you. I know the gifts I placed inside you. I know the future I designed specifically for you. And because I know these things, I refuse to allow temporary circumstances to have the final word over your life. The final word belongs to me. Therefore, lift your head. Take courage. Refuse to surrender to despair. Refuse to allow fear to become your guide. Refuse to believe that your best days are behind you. Your story is still being written. Your breakthrough is still being prepared. Your miracle is still moving toward you. Every day you continue believing. Every day you continue praying. Every day you continue walking forward despite uncertainty. You are moving closer to the fulfillment of what I promised. One day you will look back and realize that the very seasons you thought were breaking you were actually building you. The delays you resented were protecting you. The waiting you struggled with was preparing you. The tears you cried were watering seeds that would eventually produce a harvest beyond anything you imagined. So be at peace today, my child. The journey is not over. The story is not finished. The promise is still alive. And I am still working even now in ways you cannot yet see. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand deeply today. The enemy has spent years trying to convince you that your delays mean denial, that your struggles mean defeat, and that your wounds mean you are disqualified from the future I prepared for you. But none of those things are true. The greatest lie fear ever tells is that your current situation is permanent. Fear wants you to believe that because you have been waiting for a long time, you will always wait. Because you have been hurt before, you will always hurt. Because you have failed in the past, you will always fail. But I did not create you to live imprisoned by the shadows of yesterday. I created you to walk forward in the light of hope. Think about David standing before Goliath. Everyone around him saw a giant. Everyone around him saw an impossible battle. Everyone around him saw certain defeat. But David saw something different. He saw my presence. He understood that victory was never determined by the size of the obstacle, but by the greatness of the God standing beside him. My child, there are giants standing before you today. Some are financial, some are emotional, some are spiritual. Some exist only within your own thoughts. Yet I tell you that none of them are greater than me. The mountains you fear can be moved. The chains you carry can be broken. The doors that seem locked can be opened. The wounds that seem permanent can be healed. The confusion clouding your mind can be replaced with peace. But first, you must stop giving your fears more authority than my promises. Too often, you listen to the voice of worry more carefully than you listen to the voice of faith. You spend hours imagining what could go wrong while ignoring what I am capable of making right. My beloved child, if I have carried you through every difficult season behind you, why would I abandon you now? Look back over your life. There were moments you thought you would never survive, yet here you are. There were storms you thought would destroy you, yet you are still standing. There were losses you thought would break you forever, yet somehow I gave you the strength to continue. You may not have understood it at the time, but every step of the way I was carrying you. Even when your faith was weak, my faithfulness remained strong. Even when you doubted yourself, I never doubted the purpose I placed within you. There were times when you thought you were walking alone, but my hand never left your life for a single moment. Every tear was counted, every prayer was heard, every struggle was seen. And now, as you stand at the edge of a new season, I need you to stop looking at yourself through the lens of past disappointments. The person you were 5 years ago is not the person you are today. The battles you survived have strengthened you. The lessons you learned have matured you. The storms you endured have deepened your wisdom. You are stronger than you realize. You are closer than you think. And what seems impossible today may become your testimony tomorrow. Therefore, do not surrender your hope. Do not quit just because the journey has been long. The darkest hour is often closest to dawn. The greatest breakthroughs frequently arrive after the longest periods of waiting. I am still writing your story, and the chapter you are entering carries more promise than you can currently imagine. My beloved child, I also want you to understand that the blessings I'm preparing for you are not merely about changing your circumstances. They are about transforming your heart. If I only changed your environment without changing your spirit, the blessing would never reach its full purpose. That is why I often work inside you before I work around you. I build character before opportunity. I build wisdom before increase. I build faith before fulfillment. Remember Moses in the wilderness. Remember Joseph in the prison. Remember Esther before the palace. Remember Daniel before the promotion. None of them stepped into their calling overnight. Each one went through a season of preparation that seemed hidden, slow, and sometimes painful. Yet those hidden seasons became the foundation of their future influence. In the same way, the season you are currently living through is not empty. It is sacred preparation. Every challenge is teaching you something. Every delay is strengthening something. Every obstacle is revealing something. You may not always understand the lesson while you are walking through it, but one day you will look back and see my fingerprints all over the journey. You will see how I redirected you from paths that would have harmed you. You will see how I closed doors that would have distracted you from your purpose. You will see how I delayed certain blessings until you were ready to receive them. And when that day comes, gratitude will replace confusion, peace will replace anxiety, confidence will replace fear. My child, stop believing that your value depends on your achievements. Stop measuring your worth by comparing yourself to other people. I did not create you to be a copy of anyone else. I designed you with a unique purpose, unique gifts, and a unique calling. The world teaches comparison, but I teach purpose. The world teaches competition, but I teach identity. The world teaches performance, but I teach relationship. You do not have to earn my love. You do not have to prove your value. You do not have to become perfect before I can use your life. I have always loved you, even during your weakest moments. I have always seen potential inside you, even when you could not see it yourself. And because of that love, I am leading you into a future greater than your fears and stronger than your doubts. So today, release the burdens you were never meant to carry. Release the regrets that keep pulling your eyes backward. Release the worries that keep stealing your peace. Place them in my hands. Let me carry what you cannot carry. Let me heal what you cannot heal. Let me restore what you thought was lost forever. The story is not over, my beloved child. The dream is not dead. The promise is not forgotten. Even now, doors are moving, circumstances are shifting, and answers are drawing closer than you realize. Keep believing. Keep trusting. Keep walking forward, because the same God who brought you this far is the same God who will bring you into the beautiful future prepared specifically for you from the very beginning. My beloved child, as you listen to these words, I want you to know that this is not the end of a message, but the beginning of a new season in your life. There have been many moments when you questioned whether your future would ever be different from your past. There were times when you stared into the uncertainty before you and wondered if the dreams hidden within your heart would ever come alive. There were nights when disappointment sat beside you like a heavy shadow and whispered that nothing would ever change. Yet even in those moments I was working. Even when your eyes could not see it, I was arranging people, opportunities, lessons, and divine appointments that would eventually become part of the answer you had been praying for. My child, nothing about your life has been random. Every step you have taken, every valley you have crossed, every mountain you have climbed, and every tear you have cried has been woven into a story far greater than you currently understand. There were moments when you thought you had been forgotten, but I was preparing you. There were moments when you believed you had been delayed, but I was protecting you. There were moments when you thought you were being denied, but I was directing you toward something better. I need you to understand that your future is not being written by fear, failure, or the opinions of people around you. Your future is being shaped by my purpose. Long before you took your first breath, I already knew the plans I had for you. Long before you faced your first challenge, I already knew the strength I would place within you to overcome it. Long before you encountered your first disappointment, I already knew how I would transform your pain into wisdom and your wounds into testimony. The truth is that many of the things you once viewed as setbacks were actually setups for something greater. Every closed door taught you discernment. Every delay developed patience. Every trial built endurance. Every heartbreak deepened your compassion. Every failure taught you humility. Every storm increased your dependence upon me. And now, when you look back, you may begin to realize that the very experiences you wished you could avoid became the tools I used to prepare you for your calling. My beloved child, stop looking at yourself through the lens of your limitations. Stop measuring your potential according to your past. Stop allowing old mistakes to define your future. You are not who fear says you are. You are not who failure says you are. You are not who disappointment says you are. You are who I say you are. You are loved, you are chosen, you are valuable, you are called. You are stronger than you realize. You are capable of more than you imagine. There is greatness within you, not because of your own strength, but because of my presence working through you. Remember how a shepherd boy became a king. Remember how a prisoner became a ruler. Remember how a fisherman became a leader. Remember how a persecutor became an apostle. Time and time again, I have taken ordinary people and done extraordinary things through lives surrendered to me. You are no exception. The same power that guided them is available to guide you. The same wisdom that directed them is available to direct you. The same faithfulness that carried them is available to carry you. Therefore, do not allow fear to steal another day from your future. Do not allow anxiety to rob you of the peace I desire to give you. Do not allow discouragement to convince you that your story is over when I am still writing new chapters. My child, there are blessings approaching that you cannot yet see. There are answers moving toward you even now. There are opportunities being prepared that will arrive at the appointed time. There are relationships being aligned. There are breakthroughs being formed. There are chains being broken. There are doors opening in places where you once saw only walls. And when those moments arrive, you will understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. You will understand why some people left your life. You will understand why certain opportunities disappeared. You will understand why some prayers seemed delayed. You will understand why some battles lasted longer than you expected. One day, clarity will replace confusion, and gratitude will replace every question that once troubled your heart. But until that day comes, keep trusting me. Keep walking by faith. Keep believing when you cannot yet see the outcome. Keep praying when the answer seems delayed. Keep moving forward even when the road feels uncertain. Faith is not the absence of questions. Faith is the decision to trust despite unanswered questions. My beloved child, your breakthrough does not begin the day circumstances change. Your breakthrough begins the moment you decide to trust me more than you trust your fears. The miracle begins the moment hope rises again within your heart. The transformation begins the moment you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone guided by divine purpose. Today, I am inviting you into that transformation. I'm inviting you to release the burdens you were never meant to carry. Release the fear of failure. Release the fear of rejection. Release the fear of not being enough. Release the need to understand every detail before you move forward. Place those burdens in my hands and allow my peace to fill the empty spaces they leave behind. My child, the future ahead of you contains far more hope than fear wants you to believe. It contains far more possibilities than doubt wants you to imagine. It contains far more beauty than your current circumstances reveal. The seeds you planted through tears are growing. The prayers you offered in secret are being heard. The faith you maintained during difficult seasons is producing fruit. Nothing has been wasted. Not the pain, not the waiting, not the struggle, not the sacrifice. Every part of your journey is being used for a purpose greater than you know. Therefore, stand up with renewed courage. Lift your eyes toward the horizon of hope. Refuse to surrender to despair. Refuse to believe that your best days are behind you. Refuse to accept the lie that your life has no purpose. You were created intentionally. You were loved completely. You were chosen specifically. You were called uniquely. And I am still working in your life, even now, in this very moment. While you are listening, I am moving. While you are waiting, I am preparing. While you are trusting, I am opening doors. While you are praying, I am arranging answers. And one day, sooner than you think, you will look back at this season and realize that what seemed like the end was actually the beginning. What seemed like a delay was actually preparation. What seemed like a burden was actually training. What seemed like darkness was actually the place where new light was being born. So do not lose heart, my beloved child. Do not quit. Do not turn back. Do not allow temporary difficulties to make permanent decisions. Keep believing, keep trusting, keep walking, because I am with you. I have always been with you. I will continue to be with you. And the beautiful future I have prepared for you is drawing closer with every step you take in faith. One day the tears will become testimony, the waiting will become wonder, the struggle will become strength, and the prayers will become praise. On that day you will understand that through every season, every battle, every delay, and every victory, you were never alone. I was guiding you, protecting you, strengthening you, and leading you toward the destiny prepared for you from the very beginning. And when that realization fills your heart, you will finally see what I have always seen, that you were never forgotten, never abandoned, never overlooked, and never without purpose, because you have always been deeply loved, eternally chosen, and forever held within my hands.